You can catch me dead at a Neil Diamond concert. Dirty Don has got season tickets to Neil Diamond concerts. Let's see what's really going on here. Start a poll. Oh no, I can't diss Neil Diamond. Dirty Don loves him, and that's enough. He's being brought down right now by dirty old Don. So, Neil Diamond, rip Neil Diamond. Pretty sure he's toast, but if he isn't, rip, you'll be toast soon, bud. So, what's really going on in the world today? Let's have a quick chat, okay? 60 seconds or less, and go. Good talk. Alright, so 3 beans here. I'm gonna possibly pop these into something incredible right here. And away she goes. I'm not on bean duty today, tomorrow, or the next day, but next week's gonna be incredible bean duty. I'm not looking forward to it. I love it. It's just I'm not looking forward to it. That makes sense. It's hunched over, doing it all day. None of that sounds fun. So, but the outcome is really cool. Feels great, and it looks neat. Hi. There's your start a poll. Make sure you answer the poll, unless you're a complete total goof. Then don't. Let's see what's really going on. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hey, everyone. Probably go like that for a while. Right there. Oh, that's a neat view right there. So, now you know. We live in a dome. The proof is right there. You're live on YouTube right now. You can't believe anything you see. But believe me when you hear it. You heard? Man. Some people be good at what they do, and then others are just far better, eh? Man. So glad I got to the top. Well, I did. Huh? You talking to me? Talking to her cat. Alright. Which is cool. I talk to my cat all the time too. The cat has such a good heart, you know. Such a good heart on the cat, man. If you have a cat, you're his caretaker, right? You have to care for him, love him, feed him, shelter him, protect him. We do the same thing for a kid, but kids can speak up, right? So cats can't, dogs can't. They can only show you in a picture all these years later if your golden retriever was beat so bad he couldn't even lift his ears up a little bit. It's so sad to see. But I never did, and I loved him big time, so I used to take him for walks every single... it was my favorite thing, you know. And I was not even a guy that I wasn't even like, yo, I have to have him on a leash. I loved letting Tracker off the leash, you know. It was my favorite thing to do, was to see him run free. And it breaks my heart that whoever runs this place doesn't want to see us run free. It breaks my heart. It's how I know something evil is in charge of certain areas, because there's something called a border, and borders are lines drawn in the sand you can't cross. You may be shot if you cross certain borders, especially right now, without the proper papers. Right? This is the world we live in. I'm hoping you all have a wonderful day today. I'm going to be doing probably a sleep stream. I'm bagged right out. Like I feel bagged. My wife's gonna head off. I'm gonna have a bath and then probably sleep. I'm not feeling. I'm just tired, right? So hopefully I feel better at 5, 6, 7 o'clock. But just super tired. I should have slept in on Sunday. I slept a bit, but I should have slept like earlier. But I got this damn cat, and he wants something at 5 in the morning most days. So I think he just went poop. He always shakes off after he goes poop. Hi, bud. I was just telling them you pooped. I was just telling them you went poop, bud. Don't you be all shy. Eh? Come sit with me. Come sit here. Here. Oops. Come sit on this. What? Oh, I gotta look at him. Hi, pal. Hi. Show Papa. Oh yeah, you got a little bit of. Boy, oh boy. Yes, Daddy will get you. This is so gross, but I clean my cat's eyes. I fix his toes. Sometimes I have to wipe his bum for him, right? We wiped your bum one time. I think Mom did it because that grosses me out, but let me help you out, right, pal? Hey, stay while Daddy does this. Hey, you be good? Stay nice? I'll fix you quick. Hey, lay down, okay? This will be over before you know it. Come on. Hey, don't struggle. Don't struggle with Papa. Sit. Roll over. Like a good doggy. Sit. Sit, boo-boo, sit. Oh, what a good boy. Stay. Hey, Papa got it. But you know what? We gotta be very careful with you, eh? Because for some reason, you're just a different breed, man. I never really seen someone with stuff like you, so I definitely know you're different. And the veterinarian was sure pretty intrigued by you. And I do find, and also the girl that likes cats that we know, I almost said her name, she really thinks you're something different too, which, plus I see you chatty, and I remember that other cat. So, I mean, I do agree that you're something different. Plus you're a big old guy too, eh? You and Mickey. Mickey's is something else too. My Spinksy was all black too, but I don't think she had that paw thing going. We're gonna run this one for another 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna bop off out of here. This was this stream was actually a mistake stream, but I have to fulfill it because that's what I do. Even if I make a mistake on here, which I shouldn't be making mistakes this long and this far in, my head is elsewhere. I gotta get on vacation. I definitely want to go somewhere. I can't go anywhere right now. I'm taking care of a cat that if I go, he'll die, right? So I can't go anywhere. And it's compassion, right? So the best I can do is sleep in the truck with him while my wife sleeps in a nice fancy 5-star hotel in Canada. And I get to travel I'll be with my cat, but it's, that's all I can see, right? So that could be happening fairly soon. I'd like to have a truck before we go to this trip, but the perfect place to check out the vehicle to see if you love it, if it's new, is on vacation, right? You see what you don't like. It's got headroom, the leg room, it's comfortable, it drives nice, it's good braking, it's safe on the highway, it's got good acceleration, whatever it is. It's got, jam, whatever it is that you're trying to figure out if you want to keep it or if this is the one you're going to keep forever. Best thing to do is drive it for 4 hours, 8 hours every day for a week, and you'll know by the end of that vacation, right? Not obviously some days you're not driving it at all, but you get what I mean. When you're driving for 8 hours straight, you do almost everything, take every turn you possibly could, every angle, every left turn, every full right hard turn, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to test the vehicle out, right? Driving the city, you definitely test it out for sure. a lot better than country roads or country living. But city is two stop and go. I wanna open it up a little bit on the highway. I wanna hear if she bogs. I wanna hear if she's got pep and you barely even gotta touch the throttle. That's what I'm looking for, right? That's the thing that makes me go, oh yeah, you know. And then you check the consumption, right? The efficiency of the vehicle, the mileage, right? So those things matter to me, and they should matter to a person who buys a new vehicle. And anything else, if the color red is not your thing, like that's minor, right? I don't really care what color the vehicle is. I just don't want it to be, you know, pink or yellow. I'm okay with like a lime green. I'm that kind of guy. But we're not. We will have to pay extra for that lime green. But who knows? Maybe we'll get it wrapped or something. You know, you can always get it wrapped again in a couple years after that. But uh, yeah, I'm definitely down for a wrap, and I think I can do a collab with a company that does wraps in Winnipeg. This Asian company does wraps, and they wrap this. I showed it on a stream. It's the coolest vehicle I ever saw in my life, and it was wrapped in like Japanese anime, whatever you want to call it. I call it anime. I'm from the country, but I've seen lots of them. I've seen. Ghost in the Shell is one of my favorite Japanese animes, and it's what's happening, right? And what's interesting is Ghost in the Shell. I've been watching since I don't know 96, 97, 95. I was the first time I saw a Ghost in the Shell episode, movie, or I don't even remember if it was a TV series or just movies. It's been so long, but I used to watch all kind. I have that kind of stuff anyway. On video, like on DVDs and stuff, right? From when I was a teenager, right? I used to watch Vampire Hunter D. There was an anime called Devilman, which was excellent. I don't remember really. Akira, well, obviously one of the greatest animes. Heavy Metal. I used to watch. Me and a few buddies. Like he had two older brothers. I've told you a little bit, and he was a year and a half older than me, something like that. And basically 2 years. And I would hang out with him, and his older brothers had like a collection of Japanese anime and all kinds of cool stuff, eh? And that's what we would watch on like Friday, Saturday night, like late at night. Just, 13, 14, check out some anime of like adult anime. And it was freaky and scary and tons of swearing and it's gory. Man, there's nothing better than stuff like that when you're a teenager. And uh, they had them at those movies were at the movie store. Like that family owned a movie store. They worked there or something. I'm not really sure. But they had, they got in all these, like everything, the coolest stuff you could ever imagine. Because they worked there and they were like up on it, right? You know what I mean? But how were they up on it back in 1990 without internet, you know? So it must have been like a catalog, and they must have just been picking out of the catalog, right? Well, one of those brothers ended up trying out for Marvel. He ended up drawing. He's a brilliant drawer. He can draw Thor and goblins and zombies or whatever, like dragons and Conan and all the. Actually, I know a bunch of artists, but he is an amazing. He can draw comic book characters, and he was offered a small position at Marvel back in, or was it DC Comics? It was DC Comics or Marvel back in like 95, 96. He didn't take it because the wage was too small and he was doing like a hard labor job making more than double. But he said he always wanted to pursue that passion, but for the wage they were paying, it was pennies compared to what he was making for the hard labor, right? So, and he ended up buying, he's one of the first people I know that bought a house in the 90s. He was like 23 or 24. And it's so interesting. I sold that house for him to my very best friend at the time, who I grew with all the time. He was a master grower. Now I'm better than him, but he's one of the best growers in Manitoba, guaranteed. And I actually got him a deal through renting, through buying that house, they gave him like, I was like, you got it. He's a family and everything, and this guy's like, and he was having kind of a hard time selling it. I'm like, this dude will buy your house, but you got to cut him a little bit of slack. And he's like, okay, fine, because he was having such a hard time selling it, and it wasn't to lowball him or nothing. Both of these guys they both stuck up for me, so I have equal love for each person, right? But Buddy said he got a wicked deal, and another buddy that sold him the house said he was very happy that he got that. Now he has a nice house in the city, like not in the city, but in another city, I should say. I'm not gonna say where. But yeah, so that's that. And it's been a good. I was 15. I sold my first house. Pretty cool, eh? And I don't even think of it like that. It's actually one of the first times I ever actually realized that I hooked my buddy up. My buddy was trying to quit renting, right? He wanted to get out of the house he was in because the rent kept going up. He had a really nice place. His old place that he was renting. Like, I can't really get into too much of this. It's crazy how small a world this is. But he didn't want to rent anymore because it was too expensive, right? And so he moved there to a smaller house, saved money, and yeah, he was able to raise his kids and take care of his wife and raise his kids at the new house very easily. Very easily. They had nice stuff all the time. Like, they were eating better food than most people will ever eat, And he had a really good job. He made I think $200 a day. And that was in, again, 1995, 96. And his wife worked. She had a job, and she made about a fifth or 30% at best of what he made. But and it was a decent job. Just making $220 a day is a lot of money back in the day, in the 90s. And that was not including any overtime or things like that. That was just to do his job. I'm not going to start listing all the stuff, what he did and all this, but I'm telling you the truth, right? And yeah, he had multiple sources of income. He was a good person to grow up next to. Call it multiple streams of revenue, or basically, right? So on that note, folks, make sure you do something financially to better yourself today and tomorrow and the next day, every day, right? This dude was into gaming. He was into growing. He raised his kids. He bought his kids saxophones. He bought his kids badminton rackets, whatever it was. They had a rich life, like with the children had, they had their own game systems, their own TVs, their own bedrooms, they had a big basement. They had a good life. And that is what you want to give your kids, right? You want to spoil your kids right? Like, he was also strict with his kids. He made his kids go to school, made his kids do his homework. He helped his kids with his homework. He would sit them at the kitchen table and make sure they got their homework did. He never liked having a teacher call him and say his two little bedwetters weren't doing their homework, so he would ground them and take away their game system. He was a real dude. And it was so easy. Like, he parented properly, right? You don't yell at your kids all day. You walk up to your kid and say, why you can't do your homework? Well, I'm taking your game system away until you start doing your homework. End of story. You don't sit there and rag on your kid for 4 hours, bud. Just because you're a complete goof, But yeah, some people don't learn this stuff. Parenting is easy as long as you take pride in what you do, right? Have your kids be pride-filled too. Can't just walk around and be like, duh, someone else is going to do this for me all day like that. The way I grew up, man, I would have got kicked so hard in the ass if I talked like that. I had to shovel the snow. I had to mow the lawns. I had to rake the leaves. I had to go get the bread. I had to go get the milk and the eggs every morning. If it was out, I had to go to the store. I was 8. I remember going to IGA one time. I almost pissed myself. I basically just moved there. They sent me for like 9 items. and I'm basically like shaking and crying in the aisles because like I know I'm the youngest person ever to enter IGA. Yeah, and yeah, I was worried like I wasn't gonna get everything, and they were mean people. My family's nice, but like I was just a young kid, right? But yeah, that was my first experience grocery shopping. And I did not like it. I'm telling you, I used to go to other stores after that. Like, I'm not going to name the stores because they're only in one area, but it's like a food fair type of store. One of my family members owned a big store, and they had that. And I would go there and I'd go shopping. It wasn't too far from my place. I'd get like 4 or 6 bags of groceries. I'd ask my auntie what she wanted. I'd stop in there for her too. My uncle and my auntie, I'd go get whatever my other family members needed. I'd grab stuff for my mom, and then I'd make my mom dinner when I was when once Iron Chef came out when I was 16. I was watching it when I was about 15. I made a few meals. I used to cook with her, but I never got to use the oven really till I was 16. And then because she started working late all the time, like really late, got a better higher up job, so they put more work on her and barely gave her any more money. And then so I'd make her dinner from 16, 17, 18, not all the time, but most of, like, any meal that I cooked, I would always make my mother a nice meal. And we would eat together, and then I would take off for the entire night. But I love my mom, you know. I used to wash my own clothes when I was 16. And that's really all a kid has to do is cook and wash his clothes, and then he can just I could go out and do my own thing every weekend, right? But obviously I did some vacuuming or some like put away the dishes or something like that too, but that's like 5 seconds. I love vacuuming. I've been vacuuming since I was like 3 years old. I've been mowing lawns since I was 6 or 7. I used to mow at my cottage. Probably shouldn't even been near a lawnmower, but I got all my toes too. I probably have a couple extra toes, but just want to thank everybody for tuning into the episodes. I know it's kind of hard to be everywhere at once. Sometimes no, there's not. I'm the only cool streamer on YouTube. I don't know where y'all been, but maybe you want to just hit that bell notification so you can tune in next time. Remember, folks, the only thing I'm promoting over here is growing and peace, not war. I'll see you next time. Hash man.